Episode 9 of Queen of Tears begins with the Hong family coming to their villa to find the land fraud protesters and reporters waiting for them to appear. Seon-hwa, Hae-in's mother, talks to Grace Go, who tells her that the back gate is safe to enter from. In reality, Grace calls the Hong family there so that the reporters can snap their pictures and write an article, humiliating them for being homeless. When the Hongs reach the second gate, Grace changes her demeanour and informs them that they have been kicked out from their house and their stocks and other possessions have been frozen on Seoul-hee's orders. At this moment, Hyun-woo arrives and blocks the view of the hidden reporters, calling out to the family to sit in the van. He takes all of them to Yongduri. Hyun-woo's family is shocked to see the Hongs in the countryside, but nonetheless welcome them. Seon-hwa throws a fit about going back to Seoul, but steps on Kaldong instead. Later, Hyun-woo's sister cleans her expensive footwear and realises that they cost a fortune. Hyun-woo's family makes dinner for the entire gathering. Hae-in's father, although reluctant, agrees that the food tastes delicious, while Soo-cheol is picky about only drinking from imported water bottles. Hae-in knocks some sense into him, shocking the party as she hits him in the head. Hyun-woo feebly tries to convince everyone that she doesn't hit.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, mate.
While Hyun-woo's siblings do the dishes, they discuss if Hyun-woo and Hae-in might get back together, but Hae-in appears to negate all those assumptions. Meanwhile, Soo-cheol is shocked to be given an 8-year-old towel and cries about Dae-hae and Gun-woo. Elsewhere, Eun-sung confronts his mother about her decision to expel the Hongs from their house. He's displeased about being apart from Hae-in. Back at Yongduri, Hae-in's parents listen to Soo-cheol crying himself to sleep. Byung-ja calls her oldest brother and breaks down, feeling guilty for the chairman's condition. She regrets being nasty to Seoul-hee, thinking that she wouldn't have attacked the chairman if it wasn't for Byung-ja's behaviour. The old lady with dementia finds her and tries to console her. She lies about an unknown man searching for her, calling her mother, and asks Byung-ja to pretend to be her daughter. Byung-ja does just that, but the man emphasises that the old lady is really her woman. He's able to take her back home by tempting her with an ongoing television drama. While awkwardly talking over text, Hae-in realises that it was Hyun-woo that she met on her last day of high school in South Korea, since he kept her MP3 player with an H inscribed on it all along. She tries to test him, but thinking that Hae-in is displeased, Hyun-woo emphasises that he doesn't remember anything. In the morning, Hae-in offers to help Hyun-woo's mother, who is making japchae. She asks Hae-in to julienne the carrots, but since Hae-in is clueless, she shows her how to do it, impressing Hae-in through her culinary skills. Seon-hwa meets Mi-sun, Hyun-woo's sister, who tries to give her heels back, emphasising that they are clean and don't smell either. Seon-hwa tells her to keep it. In return, Mi-sun offers to style her hair. While in her salon, the neighbourhood ladies appear and criticise Seon-hwa, oblivious to her presence. Seon-hwa, upset, ends up leaving. Eun-sung is the youngest chairman and trying to expand the business. Hyun-woo explains to him that he is looking for a new job and requests Eun-sung to understand, which he does. On being asked about Hae-in's whereabouts, Hyun-woo feigns ignorance. In reality, Hyun-woo is gathering evidence against Eun-sung. Meanwhile, Grace, who is dreaming of usurping Hae-in's CEO position, is disappointed to know that Eun-sung and his mother have no such plans for her. Hyun-woo is able to find the man who restored the CCTV footage from the hunting site and recovers the lost footage of Dae-hae being the culprit behind the boar attack.
Unbelievable.
The contents of the note which Dae-hae left Soo-cheol is finally revealed. She confesses to Soo-cheol about her real age and family background. She also reveals that Gun-woo is not Soo-cheol's son. Despite this fact, Soo-cheol is heartbroken that Dae-hae left him and cries in Hae-in's presence, who tries to silently comfort him. Elsewhere, Hyun-woo describes his next plan of action to his friend Kim Yang-gi. He is going to sue Eun-sung for investment fraud and employ Eun-sung's tactics to get the Queen stocks back. Meanwhile, Hae-in's former secretary feigns ignorance about Hae-in's location, which Hyun-woo's former secretary relays to Eun-sung that they have no contact with each other. Hyun-woo learns that the protesters were the victims of a double contract and land fraud. A broker offered them 5 times the market price of land, but he signed a contract with only double the market price for the Queens. Back at Yongduri, Hae-in's father, Byung-jun, tries to reach out to all of his contacts but to no avail. After drinking with Hyun-woo's father, Byung-jun narrates that his best friend refused to lend him 20 million won and that, as the head of the family, he feels humiliated. Later, Hae-in undergoes another hallucination and faints. She wakes up to a concerned family, except for her mother. Byung-ja tries to persuade Seon-hwa to be nice to Hae-in, knowing that she will regret her behaviour if she knew the truth about Hae-in's illness, but in vain. It's then revealed that Hyun-woo was investigating the land fraud case. He explains the situation to Hae-in and informs him that he sued the broker and got him a no-fly order from the court. Meanwhile, Eun-sung visits Hae-in's room and finds her hospital ID. He goes to check her reports and finds that she only has 3 months left to live. At the same time, Hae-in arrives to get her injections at the hospital. Hae-in's doctor calls Hyun-woo about Eun-sung's presence, and Hyun-woo meets Hae-in there, informing about the situation. Eun-sung and Seoul-hee have another disagreement over Hae-in, while Eun-sung secretly relocates the chairman as a result. Hyun-woo receives a threatening message to lift the no-fly order, subsequently meeting the broker with a handful of thugs. As the episode ends, we see that the chairman might be regaining consciousness. Episode 10 of Queen of Tears begins with Seoul stumbling upon Baek Hyun-tae's boxing gym, where he learns that Hyun-woo is actually a boxing pro. Simultaneously, Hyun-woo fights the broker and his men and turns them into the police. Eun-sung threatens Hae-in to come back or he'll tell her parents about her condition. Seoul and Hyun-tae are coming back home when Seoul charges at Eun-sung for using him. He begs to let him know if Dahae is doing well, but Eun-sung merely leaves. Later, Eun-sung checks with Dahae, making sure all her communication channels are cut off. When Dahae asks him about Seoul, Eun-sung lies that Seoul is angry at her and wants revenge. Seoul is weeping in silence, repeating Dahae's name. Hae-in waits for Hyun-woo to come back since he's late and is worried to see him all bruised up. She puts ointments and band-aids on his wounds, and at breakfast the next day, Seoul and Hyun-woo lie about falling down as an explanation for their bruises.
It's false. No way. We created it. No.
While Hyun-woo is leaving, Seoul almost tells him about Eun-sung, but Hae-in interrupts the two. She had told Seoul to keep Eun-sung's presence a secret from everybody, so instead she reapplies the ointment and band-aid on Hyun-woo's face, and Hyun-woo decides to leave a bit later. When they do, they enjoy an ice cream while talking. Hae-in comments that if they had broken up sooner, Hyun-woo would have found a better person, but he emphasises that he would have made the same decision in the past and would choose Hae-in again. Meanwhile, Seoul is looking for the chairman, and Eun-sung is determined to marry Hae-in. Hyun-woo has been reassigned a different position on the charges of malpractice that Eun-sung threatened him with. Eun-sung further tells Hyun-woo about his visit to Yongduri. While this is happening, Seoul strikes a deal with Grace in order to track the chairman while offering her the CEO position in exchange. The chairman's relocation news reaches Byomja, who leaves for Seoul. While on her way, she meets Eun-sung, the son of the lady with dementia, who tells her to eat meat in times of struggle.
Okay.
On the other hand, Hyun-woo's father has been replaced as the village head, and he's bothered by the new changes taking place. While at the boxing gym, Seoul suddenly remembers the game that Dahae often played and checks to see that she was online 2 hours ago. Grace, while searching for the chairman's whereabouts, meets Hyun-woo, Kim Yang-gi, and Byomja. The three threaten her about her tax evasions and malpractices, and she agrees to help them. They decide to look for hospitals close by, since the chairman was in a critical position to have been relocated further. At the salon, the neighbourhood ladies half-heartedly apologise to Seonhwa about their comments, only to vex her even more. She goes to buy a coffee, but her card isn't working. Fortunately, Hyun-woo's mother arrives and pays for her. She makes Seonhwa repay her by making her work in the orchard. On the bright side, Seonhwa is able to sleep deeply at night without the need for medications after a day of hard labour. Hae-in learns about Eun-sung's false accusations about Hyun-woo from her former secretary. She calls him only to be threatened yet again, this time with Hyun-woo as collateral. Hyun-woo later inquires about Eun-sung, and Hae-in relays that he wants her back home and gets jealous. The next day, Hyun-woo's mother finds a trail of leaves over to Hae-in's room and overhears her talking to the doctor. Hyun-woo later tells her about Hae-in's situation and asks his mother to take care of her. At breakfast, Hyun-woo's mother prepares a feast for Hae-in and is especially caring toward her. At the gym, after waiting for what seems like forever, Seoul is able to catch hold of Dahae and send her a text message, giving her directions on Gyeong-woo's vaccination. This reminds Dahae of how affectionate and loving Seoul was towards her and Gyeong-woo. Seonhwa picks a fight with Hae-in as usual, while Hae-in is leaving for Seoul thinking she is in cahoots with Eun-sung. However, Hyun-woo's mother arrives at the right time and gives Hae-in a ride on her tractor. As Hae-in solemnly thanks her, a tear rolls down her mother-in-law's cheek. Elsewhere, Grace and Byomja have been successful in relocating the chairman. Hae-in is preparing for a press conference with Eun-sung, unbeknownst to Hyun-woo. He finds out about it only after the two leave for the conference. Hyun-woo follows them. At the press conference, Eun-sung explains Hae-in's return to her original position. However, Hae-in pivots to a different direction and exposes Eun-sung's threats to her and Hyun-woo. As they do, Hyun-woo and Hae-in share a meaningful glance, and that is where episode 10 comes to an end. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.